I do want to talk about one thing, though, before we get all quiet together.
Okay.
And that is, the last time you were here, you may not remember because it's been a minute. Last time you were here, it was the day that you were named People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive.
That's right.
And since then...
Not anymore.
No. Well, how does it feel to return to merely being a man alive?
Just a man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm just alive now.
Hello, Ruddiful people. Welcome back to our vibrant channel. Today, we're diving into the forever young world of Paul Rudd, exploring his lifestyle, earnings, and the latest buzz. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe for more colorful celeb chats. Let's get ruddy to it. You know, despite being a huge Hollywood star, Paul Rudd is known for being incredibly down-to-earth and private about his personal life. But that doesn't mean we can't talk about some of the things that make him tick. First off, let's talk about his love for sports. Paul is a massive sports fan, particularly when it comes to baseball and football. He's often spotted at games, cheering on his favorite teams. In fact, he's such a big fan of the Kansas City Royals and the Kansas City Chiefs that he's even narrated documentaries about them. So, it's safe to say that a good chunk of his money goes towards season tickets and maybe even some sports memorabilia. Now, you might not know this, but Paul is also a bit of a foodie. He's been known to invest in restaurants and loves trying out new places to eat. In an interview, he once mentioned that he'd love to open a BBQ joint someday. So, who knows? Maybe one day we'll be chowing down on some Paul Rudd's ribs. Paul is also big on charity and giving back. He supports numerous organizations, including the American Cancer Society and the Stuttering Association for the Young. He's even started his own charity, the Big Slick Celebrity Weekend, which raises money for the Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City. It's clear that he believes in using his success to make a difference, and that's something we can all appreciate. And of course, like many celebrities, Paul enjoys traveling. He's been spotted vacationing in beautiful places like Hawaii and Italy. But even when he's jet-setting around the world, he always seems to stay grounded and appreciative of the experiences he has. Lastly, let's not forget his love for music. Paul is a big fan of rock music and has even performed with some pretty famous musicians. He's been seen jamming out on stage with the likes of Paul McCartney and Jeff Lynne. So, it's likely that he spends some of his money on concert tickets and maybe even some cool musical instruments. All in all, Paul Rudd seems to spend his money on the things that bring him joy and allow him to connect with others. Whether it's sports, food, charity, travel, or music, he's all about enjoying life and making a positive impact. And that, my friends, is what makes him not just a successful actor, but also a truly awesome human being. Well, let's talk about Paul Rudd's personal life and the latest news. First off, let's talk about his long-standing relationship with his wife, Julie Yeager. Their love story is a bit unconventional, as it didn't start with a romantic first meeting. In fact, they met when Paul was looking for a publicist and Julie was working in that field. Their professional relationship blossomed into something more. They got married in 2003, and you may be thinking that their marriage is still going strong, but I have some bad news for you. We'll get to that a little later. Paul and Julie have 2 children together, a son named Jack and a daughter named Darby. Despite his busy acting career, Paul has always made it a point to prioritize his family. In interviews, he often mentions how important it is for him to be present in his kids' lives, helping with homework, attending their games, and just being a regular dad. Obviously, kids come first for this down-to-earth celebrity. One thing that's really admirable about Paul is his ability to maintain strong friendships in the industry. He's known for being incredibly nice and genuine, which has led to lasting bonds with his co-stars. For instance, he's been friends with Jennifer Aniston since they worked together on The Object of My Affection in the late 90s. And who can forget his hilarious dynamic with fellow Marvel actors? It's clear that Paul is not only a talented actor, but also a great friend. Now, you might be wondering if Paul has any juicy dating history from before his marriage. Well, sorry to disappoint, but Paul has always been pretty low-key about his personal life. Plus, he and Julie have been together for so long that there's not much to tell from his bachelor days. However, we do have the latest news regarding their marriage. All right, let's address the latest news surrounding Paul Rudd's personal life. Recently, there's been some buzz in the media about Paul Rudd's marriage to Julie Yeager. According to a report by the Daily Mail, Julie is allegedly planning to file for divorce. As of now, the reason for the potential divorce is unknown, and neither Paul nor Julie have publicly addressed these rumors. Adding fuel to the fire, some insiders have hinted that Paul may have already moved on with a new girlfriend. However, these claims remain unsubstantiated, and no evidence has surfaced to support them. After nearly 2 decades of marriage and 2 children together, this news comes as a shock to many. Paul and Julie have always presented a united front, making this potential split even more unexpected. As we wait for official confirmation from the couple, we can't help but wonder what could have led to this turn of events. Could it be the classic Hollywood tale of infidelity? Or perhaps the pressures of fame and career have taken their toll? Only time will tell. While it's tempting to dive into the rumor mill, let's remember to approach this story with a sense of respect for Paul and Julie's privacy. After all, they are real people with real emotions, navigating a challenging situation under the public eye. But let's take our minds off the sad news and talk about Paul's financial status. How much money has he made so far anyway? First off, let's not forget that Paul Rudd has been in the game for quite a while. He started acting way back in the early 90s, and his breakout role came in 1995 with Clueless. Since then, he's been steadily building his filmography and his net worth. Now, you might be wondering, how does Paul Rudd make his money? Well, the majority of his income comes from his acting roles. He's been in some major blockbusters like Ant-Man and its sequel, Ant-Man and the Wasp, as well as other Marvel films like Captain America, Civil War and Avengers, Endgame. These movies aren't just fun to watch, they're also massive moneymakers. For instance, Avengers, Endgame grossed nearly $3 billion worldwide. While we don't know exactly how much Paul Rudd took home from these films, we can safely say that his pockets are definitely feeling the love. But it's not just the Marvel universe that's been good to him. Paul Rudd has also starred in a ton of other popular films like Anchorman, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, and Knocked Up. Plus, he's done some TV work, including a memorable stint on Friends and, more recently, The Shrink Next Door, where he played a manipulative therapist opposite Will Ferrell. And speaking of recent work, Paul Rudd is staying busy. His latest film, Friendship, a comedy directed by Andrew DeYoung, premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival, earning great reviews. And if you're a fan of the Ghostbusters franchise, you'll be happy to know he's also returning as Gary Gruberson in Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, set to release in late 2024. All these roles have continued contributing to his impressive net worth. So, how much money has Paul Rudd already made? According to various sources, Paul Rudd's net worth is estimated to be around $70 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $70 million. That's a lot of zeros, folks. And let's not forget, he's also a writer and producer, which means he's got even more income streams flowing in. Okay, now let's take a look at Paul's real estate projects. First off, let's talk about his main digs. Paul Rudd and his family call New York City home, which isn't too surprising considering he's a proud Kansas City native, but has spent a lot of time in the Big Apple for work. Their primary residence is a beautiful, historic townhouse in Greenwich Village. The place is a stunner with classic brick exterior and plenty of space for the family. It's the perfect blend of old-world charm and modern amenities. Now let's not forget about their vacation spot. The Rudd family also owns a gorgeous beach house in the Hamptons. This isn't your average beach shack, folks. We're talking about a stunning mansion with plenty of room for entertaining and relaxing. It's the perfect getaway from the hustle and bustle of the city, offering beautiful ocean views and a peaceful atmosphere. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Paul Rudd isn't just a homeowner. He's also dabbled in a bit of real estate investing. Back in 2014, He and his wife, Julie Yeager, purchased a $7 million apartment in Manhattan. The place is a beauty, with high ceilings, massive windows, and a prime location. But get this, they never even moved in. Instead, they listed it for rent, making a pretty penny off their investment. Smart move, right? So there you have it, a little glimpse into Paul Rudd's real estate portfolio. From historic townhouses to luxurious beach homes and savvy investments, it's clear that this Hollywood star has a keen eye for property. And who knows, maybe we'll see him expand his real estate empire even further in the future. What about the cars? First up, we have the classic Jeep Grand Wagoneer. This isn't just a car, it's a statement. It's like Paul is saying, yeah, I'm a movie star, but I'm also a laid-back guy who loves the outdoors. The wood paneling on the side is as iconic as Paul's sense of humor. It's the perfect ride for a family road trip or an adventure off the beaten path. Now, let's talk about his Porsche 911. This car is a classic for a reason. It's sleek, it's fast, and it's a whole lot of fun to drive. Paul's been spotted cruising around in this beauty, and we can't blame him. Who wouldn't want to feel the wind in their hair and the power of a Porsche engine at their fingertips? But it's not all about the flashy rides for Paul. He's also been seen driving a Prius. Yep, you heard right. This superstar is doing his part for the environment. It's a practical choice that shows Paul is as conscious about his carbon footprint as he is about his comedic timing. Lastly, let's not forget about his motorcycle. Paul is a big fan of two wheels and has been seen riding around on a Triumph Bonneville. It's a classic bike with a lot of history, just like Paul himself. There's something about a man and his motorcycle that just screams freedom, and we love that Paul embraces that spirit. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching it with us, but hey, don't stop now. We've got more awesome videos for you to check out.